Hello, my name is Sten Martin, and today I wanted to tell you a little about gathering stitches and ease, because I was asked by one of my viewers about the difference between them, and there are different methods, and I just want to show you 3 of them. So I prepared some arm size here, or armholes, just to show you what to do. What you usually do is that you have ease at the sleeve cap, or the top of the sleeve. And here, this one is a good way to start out, and this is a gather stitch. You can see here that there are 2 rows of stitches. I prepared this with a heavy thread on a leather machine just to make it more visible. I hope you can see the stitches. But they are placed parallel to each other, and what we do is that we take the 2 top threads. The back threads we don't use really for anything, and you have to keep them together, and then you just pull over here. So I keep this. You can see I just use my index, not indexing, but my other finger down here and secure here. Then I just hold tightly over here, and then I just pull this ever so lightly over here. It's always a little bit difficult in the start, but then you just have to divide them along the way over here. So pull a little bit and then divide the ease. You can see it here. I have filmed this with a phone strapped to a lamp, so I hope the focusing problem isn't too bad, but there you go. So pull and draw in the stitches, and what you can do here is to divide them evenly, hopefully, along the way as you go. You can see up here that it's quite gathered, and what you usually do is that you draw it in too much or gather too much, and then you can just take some out again, and then you get a even roundness over here. And now I put this on an armscye or armhole, but usually what you do is that you put it on a sleeve cap to gather it in. And this is a quick way to do it. The problem with this is that it is unelastic. So if you pull this too much, it will break, and all your gathering will disappear. So it's quite taut here, but it's a quick method to do. And and the problem with this one too is that you have 2 threads. You have 1 thread underneath here, and it's black, so you can't see it really that much, I think. But you have 1 up here, and what these 2 threads do is that they lock in the fabric. So this will be rather stiff in a way. So a machine always have 2 seams, 1 on top and 1 on bottom, 1 underneath, and those lock this. So you can't gather a larger amount of fabric, because then it will be very dense. What you could do then, if you want a softer version, is to do it by hand, and of course it takes a little more time. And what you do is that you make a tailor's knot down here. You just twist it, and then you get a knot down here. And this is actually the same technique as when you do curtains or other things. You just pull it up and down, up and down, up and down, and then you, oh sorry, bumped into the camera, and then you just pull it inwards, and then you just continue. And as you can understand, this will take a bit longer, but it's a point to it if you stay with me. And then you just continue all the way. And then at one point you probably will stop because you don't need any more gathering. What I will do now here is that I will just turn it around, so I start up here instead. And hold it this way. And then it's important, I hope you can see this, then it's important that you do exactly the same stitches on your way back. It doesn't have to be the exact distance between them, but you have to have the same number of stitches, and you have to go up and down approximately at the same level. Now my thread is very heavy because I wanted it to show better, so you have to excuse if it's a little bit bumpy road, this journey I'm doing now. But as you can see, I do the same amount of stitches, and they go up and down in approximately the same level. And when we discuss how long it takes, well, it depends what you're doing. If you just have 5 seconds to do a garment or 5 minutes to do a garment, this would be horrible. But if you make a jacket or something, this would just be a fraction of all the time you use. So there you go. This is the hand stitched garter stitch. And what you do now is that you pull in the same manner as before 2 threads, but now you don't have any thread underneath, you just have the top threads. So you just pull them, and this is so much easier because the stitches are longer, and of course you can do them tighter, but since it's just one thread instead of the sewing machine, you can just glide it along. And this will be, as you can see, probably a softer look because you don't have the under thread bulking it up. Now the fabric can freely run along the stitches, and this is great if you are gathering a skirt or something. You have a vast amount of fabric, because this one you can pull as much as you like, so you can even pull it in to nothing, and then it just lays like an harmonica or something, or a fan underneath here, and it just goes up, and if you pull it down here it will lay ever so nicely. So this is a much more flexible way to do it, and it's easier to move around, and somebody likes that, somebody doesn't like that, and you can see the difference of the two, that this is more dense and this is more fluffy and flexible. But there's another version too, and that is the drawing in stitch, and that is if you just want it to be slightly narrower or slightly pulled in. And that's great if you have, for example, an armscye and you don't want it to stretch, or a neckline or something else. I sometimes wrongly explain it as pull-in stitch, and that's just something I call it because I'm pulling the thread, but it's not the correct term. It's drawing in stitch. It's a little bit difficult to say. So anyway, we have this thread, and now we just have one thread, and you do the tailor's knot down here, or you can do two on top of each other, so it's a little bit bigger, and you start down here and you sew that way. So you start with one stitch, and I just want to keep this because the black in the background makes it better. You pull it upside, and then you just take one stitch over here, and you take the thread and just pull it around the needle like that, downwards and up, and then you pull it. And here is the trick: if you just pull it upwards here, it will just keep it the way it was. If you pull it downwards first, and then you can adjust. If you want to pull in more, you can just pull it. You can see it moves, and then when you decided how much you want to pull it in, you just move it upwards, and then you get a knot here to secure the area. So another stitch over here, pull the thread over, and then you just go downwards and pull it a bit, and then up to secure it. And then you continue like that, round over here, pull through, draw it downwards, and then pull up. And then you can see it has this soft look. If you would like to, oh, I've lost the needle. If you would like to do it in another way, you could also do the stitch, pull through, and then go in from behind and pull it in, and then go down and up. Do the stitch, move it in from behind, pull it downwards and up. So either way it will be the same stitch. So you just pull it in, round, and then you decide how much you want to draw it in and move along. And you continue this way all the way. And if you want to do it a little bit quicker, it could be like this, in from behind, and draw it in and up. Do the stitch, oh sorry, it wasn't that much quicker, but anyway, do the stitch in from behind, pull it in upwards, do the stitch, pull it in from behind, draw it in and upwards. And then you can see that you have, if I have the black background here, or anyway, you can see it's gathered all the way here. But the great thing with this one is that it is elastic, and that's super. So this can be kept in the garment, and it doesn't have to be removed. So this is the most flexible. It's the drawing in stitch. So that was everything for me today. You can see the difference between the stitches over here. And Be sure to check out the link below, because I have a tailoring course coming on, an online tailoring course, so just look at that. And this was all for me today. Thank you for watching. Bye.